This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/AwesomeCast. Time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We're going to hang out with you guys here today. And we got our crew with us. First of all, since he was pointing in the background over there from the pod cave, is...
It's Dave Podnar.
There you go. Got the theme music going here this week. How you doing, Dave?
Doing good. And we're gonna keep you awake, Sorg.
Keep me awake. I'm on a red eye and 3 real hours of sleep. So we'll get this going. No problem. This is my 3rd podcast of the day. As I'm like, oh, I got a red eye. I'll be back and be able to do all the work I can do. And they're like, we're going to schedule a bunch of podcasts for you as soon as you get in. Okay. But no, it's good. We're having a lot of fun with it and having a lot of great conversations today. Also with us from the Duds Cave is...
It's Katie Dudders.
How is the Dudders?
I have red tea house. I am very happy.
Oh, you love the red tea
Shrimp
house.
fried rice.
I haven't had that in a good bit. So I miss our Christmases going to Red Tea House. But
I don't know if you noticed, but I had to scooch my angle a little bit, and then on my first call today, I was told that they couldn't see Grogu, so I had to move Grogu to somewhere more prominent.
I like the framing there.
Yeah, and the best part is he's standing on an Eric Carlson bobblehead. Which just tells you more about me as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is. Well, it looks like he just kind of... Well, no, I guess we do see him kind of sticking out across the logo there. So it would be great if he's just like standing through the logo in the corner there. So awesome. Well, we got a lot of fun here. Yes, I am back from... I went to Vegas for WrestleMania, and we'll touch base on a few things from that I want to do a little bit of show and tell-ish from that trip. Because, of course, Vegas is always like, oh, you're using technology. What way? That's novel, kind of situation there. So it is kind of a playground at a certain extent, isn't it? So, but let's get started with actually Podnar here. You have a very it looks like you have a very practical, awesome thing of this week.
Well, I do, and it's something we ordered and it came in recently.
Okay.
Now you can get these in multiple places. We got ours from QVC because QVC.
Mm-hmm.
It is the Ninja Creami.
Ninja
Creami, yes.
Okay.
So the reason why I like this, because you can make normal ice cream with it, add your cream, add your eggs, freeze it in the bowl overnight, and just and it takes like 5 minutes to cream up and get a nice consistency. But what we like to do, and what Ruth has done, she takes a protein shake,
mm-hmm.
puts it in there, puts a little bit of instant espresso in there.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, now you're talking my language.
Exactly. And that's all you put in.
Mm.
And you just let that freeze overnight, put it in, and you got coffee ice cream. And since you use protein shake as your base and the coffee, you're literally it's the equivalent of drinking a protein shake, but it tastes like ice cream.
I like it.
So like we use the Premier Protein, so that's 170 calories and 30 grams of protein. And it does not taste like fake ice cream. When you go to the store and you get the light ice cream, the low carb ice cream, it has a taste, it has a texture that's a little different. This stuff works great. And there's a lot of, especially with the weather getting warmer, there's a lot of things you can do with that are very quick and easy. Like if you want to make sorbet, literally the recipe is take a can of, let's say, peaches. You take your can of peaches and light syrup, put it in there, let it freeze overnight, put it in the machine, hit the sorbet. 5 minutes later, fresh sorbet.
Nice.
And you're not dumping tons of sugar or tons of additional. You can do things with sugar and fat and everything, of course, but it's really easy to make. And they're, like I said, they're maybe 1 or 2 servings that you're making at a time, so you don't have all this leftover and lots of room in the freezer type thing. And it's pretty. It is noisy, but it's noisy like a blender is noisy. So it's not like exceptionally noisy. So if you're around someone who, let's say, if you have kids that are in the household, it may be a bit loud for them. But for an average household, just like any other kitchen appliance. And it is just literally you could easily make multiple containers, put it in the freezer, and just say, oh, tonight I want to have the strawberry ice cream, or I want to have the banana ice cream. And the banana ice cream literally is a protein shake with a ripe banana cut up into it. And that's it.
Awesome.
So it's just a nice, easy way to get healthy, but really good tasting, quick desserts.
So that's the Ninja Cream 7-in-1 frozen treat maker over there on QVC. I'm sure it's going to be on Amazon or anything like that.
It's on Amazon and everyone else too.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So that's a nice little and it looks like it's probably not going to be too hard to make either. So yeah,
it is literally, you can either do 1 or 2 ingredients, and boom, you're done.
Katie, you think this would help you with your ice cream stand visits? No,
it'll never be Annie's.
No,
but it's nice because I'm an oat girl, so being able to make things without milk.
I was gonna say there's not much using oat milk or anything like alternatives out there, right? So
no, not ice cream world, but
no, like the specialized places, I'm sure in like Lawrenceville or something probably has some of that stuff. Not places we frequent for sure. So yeah, awesome.
Gelato.
Well, at least if you go to like Giant Eagle, they will have usually coconut milk ice cream and almond milk ice cream, but I don't know, like that might not work for.
That's also like their Giant Eagle, I feel like gets more specialized with that kind of thing, because it's like I like when you get into like Market District, I feel like they're leaning more towards that Whole Foods kind of situation too. And I think that kind of
have luck with Trader Joe's, but they won't have much variety.
Right, exactly. Like it's just like, well, here's something for the people, So, but yeah, they're not like super serving it, So, but no, it's a nice alternative. Awesome. Katie, what is your awesome thing?
Talk about Kennywood.
Yeah, let's.
Well, so for me, Kennywood, my Kennywood story was planning to go with my best friend and her boys to the zoo on Friday of last week. And by the time we got to the zoo, which was still a decent time in the morning, we couldn't even get in the parking lot. It was completely packed. The roads were backed up.
This was Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Easter Friday, if you will.
Yeah. And just not our scene, and not big on a bunch of people at the zoo. So we were like, I don't know what to do, and I was like, I think Kennywood's open, and that essentially turned into us taking her boys to their first real amusement park, and me buying a season pass because it was like, why the heck not? Because I get free tickets, and we got free parking. I went platinum. I'm sorry, I don't know why I was feeling fancy that day.
Wow.
So I get like 20% off. I think it was like Potato Patch Fries or one of the places. I got 20% off, and we get a drink a container that we just keep refilling for free. And the fact, I have not been to Kennywood, and I can't even tell you how long. And the fact that you can just walk up to a stand, scan your QR code, and then fill your drink and go about your day is just incredible. It's like, I feel so like, ooh, they're like catching up. But yes, so what we had planned to only spend a few hours at Kennywood turned it into 8 hours at Kennywood. And her oldest riding his first real roller coaster, the Jackrabbit, and not being able to stop talking about it, which is so adorable, and I love it so much. And he even told the crossing guard the next day when they went back to school this week.
That's awesome. I caught up with you guys because I dropped in because just my day kind of blew up. So I'm like, screw it, let's go. I was telling Dave about it before the show, and I go and I was like, run into one of our wrestling friends, ran into you. I know another friend of ours was there out and about with their grandchild as well. We happen to be walking towards the turtle at the same time, and I love his expression watching the turtle or being on the turtle, which was like, oh my god, this is like for us it was, what did I say, it was the tumble bug was the same, right, up at Conneaut Lake that I was looking up. I'm just like, this is it, this is that's how joyous I was on this ride back in the day. I'm so happy to see it, so that was very cool. So.
Oh, we had a blast. It was such a good time. And the fact that we can just go and get potato patch fries and just do walks around, or like, I'm very excited about this. I feel like I've already fit so much summer into this like week of April, that I'm very pleased and how this is all shaping up.
And kind of off of that, I was telling you I did the speedy pass because I was like, rides were getting to like 60 minutes for Steel Vengeance and things like that, right? And I was like, I don't want to wait. So I was like, I looked at their speedy pass option. They got everything up to $50 to like walk on like once per ride and stuff like that, right? But the $10 version is like basically a virtual queue. So it's like, okay, well, like it's kind of Magic Passes, like the last version of the Magic Pass that they had that we experienced in Disneyland, where you pick one, you're in the virtual queue, and whereas Magic Pass kind of gives you a window, and I just have to wait out, like if it's 60 minutes to get on Steel Phantom Revenge, whatever it is this year, you have to wait out the 60 minutes, and then you get pretty much on, and you can cash it in afterwards, but you don't get the next ride until after that. So, but it was nice because it's like, oh, I'll go on Noah's Ark. I haven't done that in forever. I haven't seen all the changes in it, right? And I was able to kill time with that. Go grab a bite to eat. Go look at the merch. Go walk around a little bit. I was like, oh, okay, it's time to go hop on here. So that was really nice. I used it for probably about 3 rides, like the Racer, Skyrocket, and the Phantom, and to me that was worth it, right? Because it's literally like I walked into the park. I've already twice. My gold pass, I've already made up the money just on tickets showing up, and done like 4 or 5 hours maybe each time, and just like, yeah, I'll pay that $10 just to not stand in line, especially if I'm going to go with my wife who's just not going to want to go on some of these coasters. I'm here for it, so like I just, that turnaround is amazing. It's become like the AMC Stubbs Pass for me for roller coasters at this point. It's like, yeah, I'll go and buy a popcorn. Yeah, I'm not mad about it anymore, so but yeah, I get it. I completely get it now. So one of these days I'll run into Bobby Cherry there, the real superstar of Kennywood. So
we missed out. Yeah, he was there yesterday.
Yes, I'm trying to figure out how I can squeeze a couple hours this weekend with Missy before we start traveling. So, but anyways, no, it's really, really cool. So, yeah, if there's anything that surprised you? You said you haven't been there for a while, and I was telling you, like, I felt like there's a nice coat of paint to a lot of it. I guess it looked like they kind of did this a couple years ago. Like, is there any other big surprises from the park from the last time you've been there?
Oh gosh, I know we talked about how sad we were the clock was gone, or the topiary where they had, I think the Thomas area was, like that had changed. And I don't know, like I feel like it's wild because, like I said, it's been forever. The games are all, they're cashless, which is great, but like there's also the having to, you get to card and you're like, you play the game over here, and it's like, oh, that's cool. But yeah, no, I'm trying to think if there was anything else exciting. Potato patch fries still as good as they've ever been.
I have not yet.
Millie's ice cream, delightful. Yeah, had some brownie batter gelato, was very much worth it. That kind of turned the day around. That was we were dragging an ice cream and sitting in the shade, kind of we were right back up.
That's awesome. So yeah, definitely worth it if you're in Pittsburgh. Like I can't recommend enough that if you're going to have time to go down there, if you're close enough, like I just feel like it's a nice, like, yeah, pop there like in a day when you just have a few hours kind of idea. And also, like, it's right down from the AMC, so if you have the passes there, you can kind of make a day of it. Yeah, okay, we got a movie at 6, let's go hop on a couple coasters in the meantime or something, right? Like, it's really, really interesting, and fun to be able to do that and not really break the bank in the long run, so so my awesome thing, I'm going to talk about my awesome thing, and then I'm going to talk about Katie's awesome thing that I happen to do. So, but also this applies to Katie too. I got to check out the Taco Bell Cantina. I did not check out the Taco Bell Chapel. But so this was after the second night of WrestleMania, and I'm just like, it's getting crazy over there. So, like, there's too many people, wandering, shut down, watch the post show outside and everything like that until things thinned out. And I was just like, I walked the cantina and let's see about what this is about. We've heard about this. So this is the Taco Bell on the Las Vegas Strip, where they have a special menu. There's a live DJ. There are alcoholic drinks that are involved as well. So like that's basically it. So I can't believe I didn't post about this. I think I was trying to hold this for today. But no, it was really cool. It was definitely kind of busy. They were playing WWE theme songs, like they were playing John Cena music and everything like that. And that I really did appreciate. So this is what it looks like on the first floor. There is a second floor up there with a little bit of seating and everything like that. So everything's kiosk. They're yelling orders. You go over, get your drink, give your name for your drink that you bought and everything like that. So it was really, really cool. This is what I didn't realize the cup that I was getting when I ordered the Baja Blast Twisty. I was like, oh, it's just like a slushy thing. And it's just expensive because I got vodka in it, right? And I'm on the Strip. No, here's this giant thing that I am like I'm walking back to the hotel with this, and I'm like, man, I don't know if it's gonna fit in my backpack. So ends up it did. And I was really worried because I'm on Spirit, because if you overpack on there, they're going to start charging you for stuff, right? So I really appreciate that. It was kind of everything that it was a little smaller. I was hoping there was a little bit more seating or something like that, but generally it was a pretty nice situation. Also, I loved you have to type your own name, and they have an order board, kind of like what we're used to at Sheets. And then there was a John Cena on the order board, so a lot of people were having fun, and of course it was full of wrestling fans, so it was a lot of fun in general. Good vibes. Oh yeah, this is me fit testing whether it was going to fit in my backpack when I got back. So it fits the chips, I guess, right? So Taco Bell Cantina,
and that shape is not suspicious at all.
No, my backpack did get pulled.
Long, thin, tubular object, not suspicious at all.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I got secondary screen, that's for sure, guys. So it was like, oh, maybe I put my batteries too close together, and you're right. It was that. It was definitely that. But also, like, I feel like they probably see this all the time, right? Because I'm like, oh, that's gonna look weird in there. It's like, it's Vegas. Like, how many people are going with this?
I guarantee you, airport security in Vegas has seen everything, and probably everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm assuming they're used to it by like the end of the first week on the job. Oh, it's one of those things again.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a weapon? Not really.
So, but either way, it was a lot of fun. We'll talk a little bit more about the Vegas stuff here after the break.
Also,
yes,
I just did a search for the nearest Taco Bell Cantina to Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
In case you don't necessarily want to fly out to Vegas.
Oh, I didn't know there were more than the Vegas ones.
Yes, Columbus, Ohio.
Oh,
and there's one in DC and one in New York City.
DC, Katie, we're going to Maryland in June. That might be the play, right?
And as I eat my I'm obviously very hungry.
Listen, that's the perfect mood for this. That's a perfect tone. Good job with that. So, and that has been our
It's the awesome thing of the week.
Just watch Katie munch in the background there. But thank you everybody that does support the show here and keeps it going on the AwesomeCast. Our friends at the patreon.com/AwesomeCast to get some extra stuff. We have a live stream going, so when we go to videos and stuff, you're going to see what's going on and behind the scenes and everything too, before the show, after the show. And we have just one feed now for Patreon that actually goes through the entire night from AwesomeCast all the way through Wrestling Mayhem Show. If you want to stick around that, kind of see how the sausage is made, and sometimes we get kind of real about conversations. Who knows? and you guys can be part of that. And thank you everybody that does support the show. Our friends with the new Pittsburgh Exposition, Brian Crawford, Cynthia Klosky, John DeGore, and Dave Podnar.
Ta-da!
Yay! There he goes. Thank you everybody for supporting the show here. And a part of the, I guess, a little bit of growth here in the. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Put that finger away, Dave. Put that finger away. Hold on. There, yeah, you go. No, it's the wrong show. So we kind of unveiled it quietly without fanfare last week, a little bit. But Chachi, he was on the show like a month ago. A rare sighting. Started a new venture, and we're gonna go to the ChachiSays Video Game Minute.
Hey kids, once again the producers of AwesomeCast are granting me 1 whole minute to give you as much video game news as I can. Welcome to the ChachiSays Video Game Minute. Here we go. At the beginning of WrestleMania this past weekend, it was announced that The Undertaker and Cody Rhodes are being added to Fortnite and available for purchase in the in-game shop. The pair joins Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, John Cena, and The Rock as in-game skins. In a surprise move, Apple TV has announced a series cancellation of the video game themed show Mythic Quest. Like all cancellations, no reason was given, but they did announce that they reshot the end of the last episode to give it a proper ending. The episode is slated to be updated on the app later this week. And in the best news of the week, Nintendo announced that despite the threat of tariffs looming, they are resuming pre-orders on the Nintendo Switch 2 at the original announced price of $449. Orders will resume taking place on April 24th. Thanks for watching this week's ChachiSays Video Game Minute. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Chachi, for that news, that hot news on the video games. You saw the thing about the Mythic Quest in there. I was really, that was really interesting that they did cancel the show, and after the cancellation, uploaded a different version of the final episode to tie up all the loose ends. I haven't gone that far in the season yet. And it's also weird that they canceled it after they just did the side quest like spin-off series for it too on Apple TV. So I'm really interested to see, like, I'm sad I didn't get to see the original episode, now it's kind of been replaced with the one that kind of ties things up. So it's very interesting. Katie, next one's for you. Okay. Because, I said I brought a little bit something back. So I got a bag because it's all I could fit in my luggage out of anything that was there. So it's the only goodies I really had, but they had the bag that everything came in was nice, so I figured you'd kind of appreciate that. So I
love it. It's so cute,
right? I tried my best to keep it as like in good shape as possible. So this is from the Hello Kitty Café, Las Vegas. I did run into they did put one in at what is that? Universal Studios Hollywood. It's kind of like their Disney Springs kind of situation over there. So I remember this because it's in that kind of walkway when you roll up to T-Mobile Arena. We were there a couple years ago for an AEW pay-per-view. And of course, Monday Night Raw and a lot of the other events that were not WrestleMania at the stadium were at that as well. So I remember it was like, okay, I'm familiar with this. I know where to go hang out and stuff like that. So, so I was like, okay, I got to go for Katie. I got to experience it and report back, because we haven't, but apparently we got to go to Columbus now or DC or something. So we'll take care of this situation. So just going through, it's just a little, I didn't take a wide picture, but it's just a little like kind of self-contained kiosk-y thing right there kind of on the, kind of just off the strip. The strip kind of situation. This is, and I got an alcoholic beverage along with this. So I got what was a pink bow ice cream, and everything's kind of pre-made. It seems there, like pre-packaged, pre-made, ready to go. And I got a Hello Kitty donut. I got to say the bow. Like I poured it off and there was a weird indent. The bow, which is I think it was like a gummy, was stuck to the top of the of the container. So I had to take it off, and I was trying to put the bow back on. So it didn't really work out too well, but it was delicious. And then the Hello Kitty one also had a little edible bow on it as well. I believe, I can't remember the description, but I think the Hello Kitty ice cream had some cookie dough kind of stuff in it and everything too. It was strawberry. It was delicious. So highly recommend it. I didn't try, and they had like assortment of coffees and teas and things, but I didn't really get into it. So highly recommend. And they got a lot of kind of merchy kind of stuff for the for Las Vegas and Hello Kitty and stuff in there too. Also, there's a lot of even like a little you know how like, when you go to Disney, Katie, and like there's the store for Star Wars over here, but over by like Rise of Resistance, there's like a bunch of little kiosks with a bunch of the same stuff, right? Like they did the same thing with this Hello Kitty thing. Like, there's a Hello Kitty kiosk just like 20 feet away with more stuff and stuffed animals and things like that. So that was the cool thing. Do you have any? Okay, ask me anything about the Hello Kitty Cafe.
Oh goodness. Whoa! I want to know about donut quality. We had a Simpsons donuts in Universal.
Mm-hmm.
And I see there are similar kind of types of. I need to know.
So that's really funny because as I'm eating this thing, I said, "This actually tastes just like the Simpsons donut." There's just not a lot of it because remember, the Simpsons donut is, if you haven't had a Universal in the Simpsons world, it's a giant donut. It's the Fat Boy donut or something, right? Like that lard lad. So it's like this big. Like I remember getting sick trying to eat that thing because I don't think we ate a lot of real food, and then we didn't want to afterwards because we just ate this giant donut, and we're like, "What are we doing?" It's like, "Oh, I guess I'll finish it." Just like I'm not gonna carry part of a donut for around for this stuff. So no, it's like a very like. It's good, but it's definitely like a packaged donut kind of situation, right? So, again, it's not like delectable, kind of thing, but it's very good. It's very like, I don't know, it's not like it's prepackaged, it's not like as fresh as like maybe a Dunkin' Donut or something like that, So, but it's definitely was nice for the novelty of it. So I did appreciate that. It was, and everything as well packaged and stuff. I think I actually have. By the way, this perfectly fits your applesauce that we brought back from.
Yay.
So that's going in there too. Oh, and I did save the. It still got some sprinkles in there for the donut bag. So it just like the packaging was really good. So why not? So yeah. This is so your your door prize is sitting here at the studio. So whenever we connect,
yes.
So
I mean, I do like the theming. The Las Vegas theming, making it look like the Las Vegas.
Oh yeah. I mean, everything's they had one hanging out at WrestleMania too. That was like all Vegas themed and everything. So there you go. The fabulous Hello Kitty Cafe. One more thing from my Vegas trip on a tech angle. Of course, we'll be talking about my thoughts on WrestleMania itself in the weekend more when we get into the Wrestling Mayhem show. And I didn't put a link in here, so let me dig that up real quick on my Facebook profile. So there was a thing that popped up. I didn't see it the first night, but it popped up on the main screen in the stadium. This is let me for a minute. Is it Allegiant? Allegiant? Yeah, Allegiant Stadium. I kept typing it in Acrisure Stadium. Like, no, that's back home, which we all call Heinz Field. Literally, there's a project that happened there, and I've been working on them for the invoicing, and then we still all reference it as the Heinz Field project. And it just happened like a month ago. So anyways, I gotta say that Allegiant Stadium is the best stadium experience I've ever had. Well laid out, like SoFi Stadium. I remember, Katie, fans got stuck in there, and we got stuck for a little bit trying to walk through there. That's the one in LA. It was also a relatively new one and everything like that. So this was really the food was good, not over exorbitant. I had like street tacos and a cheesesteak and a hot dog, and like nothing was. I mean, it's a little pricier, like $16 for a cheesesteak, like $8 for a hot dog, but I was like 15 in Chicago, right? Last time I was up there at a show or wherever it was last. And here we go. And then when you buy a drink, because I did get my, of course I had to get my collector cup for WrestleMania, which is my little merch decision. So I'm not buying $40 t-shirts. But they had free refills on drinks, guys. Like you could, like it was like, wait, Kennywood, these guys, this is great, right? Like it's so like, everything is, you feel like you're exorbitantly nickel and dimed when you go to about any other stadium or even just going to T-Mobile. It was such a different experience, right? Like, it was just it was just kind of interesting. Like it kind of got through the expectations. So, anyways, the second night at Allegiant, I noticed that they had a thing. Hey, tag yourself with at WrestleMania and stuff. So, let's see. The first night, I was behind the set, so you didn't get to see me in the picture. And they just take this giant panorama from the one side of the stadium. Also, it's only I think from one side of the stadium, so it's not everybody's going to be able to tag themselves. So they did manage to find me at the second night because I was on the other side of the stage. I'm looking at my phone. It's all right, yeah, I was able. And by the way, I am on the edge, the absolute edge of this. I'm trying to see if I can zoom out here. There we go. Yeah, of the picture, I am on almost yeah. You can zoom all the way out. Okay. I'm not as on the edge as I thought I was.
And also, if you know on top, you can reverse sides.
Oh, you can. Where
if
you see
look on
that?
the very top of
opposite
the
view.
Image, opposite view.
I need to go back to
Give
night.
it a second.
Okay. I need to go back to night one because this is where I was sitting over here. So that's nice. Yeah, look at that set. This is also a very cool thing. This is just a very stadium thing that they go over here more than wrestling. They sold seats on top of the set, right? They look like they're very specialty, kind of like, tabletop kind of things up there. And then they also did ones on the side of the set as well. Like, that was a very cool thing. And I was like, oh, these are going to look weird. People, look at the loungers there. Like, you're lounging there and the wrestlers are coming out right here. Like, there goes John Cena, like, through this section right here of it. Like, that was a very, very cool thing that they added. I didn't know that was an option, but also I couldn't imagine what it probably cost for these seats. So yeah, again, it was really cool. Like, it felt like a nice stadium, but you didn't feel like when you go to like AT&T Stadium, like it felt like, oh, this is where, like, it felt like you're only having like a great experience if you're paying a lot of money and you're in a different tax bracket. You know what I mean? Obviously, if you're like trying to sit on the floor, you're kind of in that zone. But still, like, even like it didn't feel like you weren't the plebes in the cheap seats. I thought the sight lines were really good in there. It felt tighter than some of the other stadiums that I've been in. It's out of the last 4 WrestleManias I've been to. It is the best experience out of them, and that includes going to the Philly Stadium, the Philly Eagles Stadium, AT&T Stadium, and SoFi Stadium over those years. So definitely Vegas, and the Vegas is probably the newest stadium out of all of them, and they're all relative.
That's the one thing I was looking. The Vegas was actually built in 2020.
2020, and I think SoFi was relatively around the same time. SoFi might actually technically be newer because I think I got delayed over COVID. So
yeah, it was pretty much finished, and it opened in 21 because everything just got pushed back.
I was trying to see here because it's by a company named FanCam, and I didn't know if YinzCam might have changed their name or rebranded, because YinzCam is still attached to a lot of things, including this Allegiant Stadium is listed on their thing. So this may be a YinzCam technology for all I know. And I think I love that, and people are putting pictures side by side because they had like kind of this view of this versus this view at a football game, kind of for comparison purposes. So also, I love this window over here. You don't see it here, but I know I took some pictures of it. Like, from where I'm sitting, like over by the set, you see the skyline and the sphere and the roller coaster and everything. Like, it felt very attempting to be Pittsburgh, by putting the window on that side. And they did only put it on the one side too, because I mean, you go this way, all you're seeing is desert. And to my knowledge, and even just looking at the seating, like, they seem to have less seating over there. I don't think there was a window. I could be wrong. It could be behind the set for all I know. The whole set situation here. So
no, it looks like there's just more seating back there.
And they had this really cool thing. If you didn't watch, like, okay, I'm going to get techie with this. So they have these screens. These are these video screens. They would actually move into position lower to the ramp. And then when they were doing the shots, like shooting people walking down the ramp, like some of them, they would be lined up like directly over them. It was a very, very cool production design throughout the night. And of course, they changed it along with like whatever entrances were happening and things like that. So that was a very cool addition that they got to do there. So really happy with that. Again, it's just generally one of the better experiences. Also, like, temperature control, because I'm like, SoFi's inside, we're going to be fine. And I wore a t-shirt and I was freezing all night, in Los Angeles. This was like, it's like, it didn't feel like, and you could tell SoFi was like, they're trying to keep, but it was still like too open air still. This was like, this place is just takes care of it. You know, it was like 80 some degrees outside at the height, and we had no idea, you know, so. But no, very cool experience there. And really, really appreciative of that bit there. So, man, just highly recommend if you want to go down there for a Raiders game or any other big events that come up. And you're doing the Vegas thing. Definitely worthwhile. Definitely worth a try there. So cool.
And I'll mention this because I watched the broadcast.
Yes.
I did not notice those going up and down.
Yeah, you didn't see the movements. You just
no, even. From the wide shots during the matches to the close up, the angle you didn't really notice an angle difference. They
were really up there. They were like basically like my level, where I was in the nosebleeds. So, and there might be a level of nosebleeds like above us on the sides too. So like I think we were in the 300s, and I think there was a 400s, and on the sides, not on the end zones, because they had the windows and stuff. So. But yeah, it was very cool. And you could tell like you didn't even, maybe in some of the wide shots, you'd see them when they did those full stadium shots, like they like to do to show everybody. But you could tell that like they were low enough with all the hard cams and stuff that you're never going to know. And then they would lower into position in between wrestlers and things like that. Sometimes between wrestlers, they would move to a different position. Right. So like the coordination around all of that is tremendous. So, and even the experience watching, I haven't watched Raw I haven't watched an in-person taping of a SmackDown or Raw in a while, probably just schedules. I never make it when they're in town. I'm hoping to hit the one in June. I think Raw's coming at the end of June. Like they had this whole, again, I'm going on the tech side of all this, and the production side, which I think is really interesting. There's like a little hype video, and it's just like, hey, here's a bunch of media stuff. The hype video was so much more interesting, and there is like a laser light show that goes with it. Like Katie, the Pens do this too, where they do that big. I've seen this at the NHL arenas, footage of this, where they do the big light show on the ice. Here come your Pittsburgh Penguins, right? Like it kind of was like that. And I think this is something they probably started in the Netflix era because it feels very Netflix vibe to it. And just like the lasers are popping out, the spotlights coming out in and out and everything like that. Like I can't wait for you to be able to see this in Pittsburgh when they come in. So because I know you'll probably be around one way or another, right? So, so one way or another, you're going to experience it, whether somebody's paying you to do it or not, right? But anyways, so that was a really cool kind of added techie thing on that. I'm trying to see if I do have a video of it somewhere, but I think I closed photos because I was just like, I filmed like 4 minutes of it. It's like the entire 5 minutes before they go live on Netflix, and I'm just like, this is great. This is like the coolest kind of intro that I've seen for something like this. So yeah, I felt like a Disney laser light show to a certain extent there. So 1 sec, I'm seeing if I can find that video. I don't think it uploaded. Oh, there's me. Okay. Either way. Oh yeah, here it is. Just real quick for you guys on video to see, kind of what this kind of craziness looked like. So I don't know if it's going to convey really well. Yeah, like when they're starting to hit the lights like this, and it's all timed to the music and the video popping up, like it was really, really impressive when they got into this. So, and really, really hyped you up too. So I understand why those audiences are really kind of rocking at this thing as you go through this. So anyways, just a little
the lights seemed pretty cool. Like they were like the starburst effect.
Yeah.
When you were watching it at home, which was pretty neat to see.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like you don't see this, this is all before we go live. They tape a couple episodes for a couple matches for main event. I think I was sending you some of our friends that were on those, and a nice little kind of like, just awesome cinematic shots of like all the wrestlers and everything. And, they love to drop in their, kind of the prompts of the things that they want you to chant through the night. A little review of things that have happened over the years, including there's always clips from like the big things that happened at the last WrestleMania and showing how big everything is as you're going into the shows. So, but yeah, really cool. Really, if you're like, why is WWE like the number one thing? This is the thing. I always went in when wrestling sucked at WWE. I went to see the production value and see what they were doing. I'm like, let's see wrestling on a big stage, right? They're like literally, and that's what I studied, about production and everything like that. Also, side note, a shout out to Mikey over there at I believe it's Future Stars Wrestling, FSW in Vegas. I got to check out their production. I got a quick little tour there. I worked with Mikey a little bit up in Chicago with our friends at Warrior Wrestling, and look at this setup, man! Like they got a nice space there. Like they got one of those nice like office park kind of wrestling venue kind of deals. So they got to set up their own thing, and he's and I guess he learned a little bit. He told me he learned a little bit from what we were doing when he was working with us, and applied it. And he's got a really cool team rocking there, and they got a nice thing. They're on Triller TV if you want to check out Future Stars Wrestling, FSW Vegas. I sent Chachi, I'm like, hey Chachi, go check this out, and he's just like, yeah, it looks like one of our shows. I was like, oh, right, So, but I didn't get a chance to watch video, just checking out. But I could tell by the way everybody was moving. I was like, okay, they're doing the things that we talk about, and that's really cool to see. Okay, enough about that. Enough about Vegas. Let's get into some other stories here. Katie, what is happening on Instagram? Oh, you're muted, maybe.
So I'm unmuted.
There you go.
It is. So they just released the Instagram Edits app.
Okay.
For you to check out. And Instagram Edits, from what I can tell, I haven't had a chance to download it. I just found this a little bit ago. Is everything I wanted iMovie to be plus analytics.
Ooh, okay.
The ease of use, because I try, iMovie is so clunky to me that I have just, like, especially if I'm on my phone trying to do something fast, it's a pain. If you go down the dots on the left-hand side of her face, you can see, some of the other things. You could do like up to a 10-hour video. It'll use AI to create more interesting things. It has captions. It holds on to projects. So it's very much looks like iMovie, but like infinitely better and much easier, more intuitive, and analytics.
How does you think, looking at this, this feels like a CapCut attack. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it's going to do a lot of things CapCut does, but leaned into the Instagram platform for the most part. So yeah.
And I downloaded it, and it definitely 100% feels like CapCut. And it looks like there's more things they're going to add to it. I don't think they've included all the AI stuff yet. But it's really easy to use, and the analytics come from Instagram. So it tells you your Instagram analytics. The nice thing is, unlike CapCut, not only can you publish directly to their, like, you can publish directly to Facebook or Instagram, you can save it to your camera roll without a watermark.
Well, I will caution that I believe CapCut did that originally and then became a paid product. So right. I would say, like, at the moment you are correct, but I would caution that they will probably either they're just going to push everything free to kill CapCut, or it's going to become a paid product at some point with some watermarking situation.
There may be a pro version in the future.
There you go.
But I can definitely see, we've seen this before with Facebook. Flash Meta. Oh, we like that product. We can't buy that product. Therefore, we're going to copy step for step and then send it. And actually, right above Dutter's link, I have an example of one I created.
Oh, okay. So hold on.
And one thing that's really nice is you're able to take a video and it will cut out the subject from the video.
Oh, really?
And track it. So you only have the subject as it's moving. And it does a pretty good job.
Well, let's see this. Here's my friend that I found in the Bellagio here. Can I find this real quick? Oh, here's a cutout option. Okay.
Yep.
We're going to do a cutout, and we're going to do this. Okay. It's loading the media.
It's going to process it.
And this is just a random video. This guy just started talking to me about like the ending of WrestleMania and John Cena when I was walking through the Bellagio looking at flowers of all things, right? And then, so...
It's only going to tick you. And I don't know if there's a way to
no, this is fine for the test, though. This is just fine for the test. I mean, just no intention or anything like that. So it's doing a little dotty thing. It's doing the analysis and everything. And so it's got the cutout. So presumably I can take this and put whatever I want behind me, right?
Right. Or you can put that in front of a video.
Oh, wow. Oh, this is...
Yeah. And
that tracking's amazing.
Pretty good job about tracking you and keeping that edge on you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
and including your glasses.
I'm not doing anything crazy, of course, but yeah, this is it. So the green line apparently is a processing because it's not
that's
going
the processing line.
Oh,
and when
it's very
it goes
After
across,
Effects.
it'll only be like just another second or two.
Okay.
Then you'll be able to save it and then throw it into your project.
That is very
It does
cool.
install on it.
So I think what we're going to end up here, because I feel like we get into a situation where, if I want to do this, I want to go to Final Cut since I have it, right? If I want to do this, CapCut handles this really well. If I want to do this, I need to go to this program. Like, I think we're still in, like, okay, now when I think cutouts of something like this, I want to go to Instagram. Like, I feel like there's going to be a thing where, especially since this is relatively free right now, like it becomes kind of a, okay, let's go to this to do this, pour it over to this to do this, and like I'm like, sorry, the complicated workflows is what's exciting me right now. So I don't know, Katie, if you're thinking in that manner as well, or you're probably looking for something more streamlined, right?
I love this. You have to look at Podner's example because the cat, it's above the link for the thing.
Yeah.
The cat in the front is just magical.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, just a cat hanging out. So there's a cat in the foreground just hanging there with another cat, just a picture slideshow of another. Is that the same cat?
Same cat.
Sleeping on the couch. Oh, you got a nice little slow-mo video there.
The thing is, at the very end, you can hit animate and it does that zoom in.
Oh.
That was completely the program doing it.
Okay.
And in the background, I have the an instrumental of the sleepy kitty, furry kitty.
Love it.
Song playing in the background.
Love it. Okay.
And that literally took me just a minute or two.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, when I had the one cat, when I had one of Daisy's cut out, I could just hit duplicate, move it over, hit mirror to switch the angle around, and it handled it. And you can see she's a black and white cat, and the only problem it had was the shadow with her tail had some issues, but it's doing a good job at tracking, and she's moving, like I said, not crazy movement, but still pretty good.
So just for a quick thing, I want to show you. I was just like, I want to see like an example of what it's going to do with what I'm doing. So I threw just an effect on the background. So I'm just the only thing not going psychedelic colors. So everybody else is high, not me. Is the story here, I think. So
it's either that or you're high, and that's what you're seeing.
Yeah. It's like I have to do a nice like little layered effect situation here. I can throw some. So it's like that's how I want to do. Oh, and you see, I don't know. It might be because it's kind of pre-rendered, or maybe I'm off. But you see, there's a little bit of like, it's misaligned a little bit, but that also might just be where the video ended up. I don't know. It looks like it's relatively on the same thing. So yeah. I'm really curious about that. So, but also might have done something weird since it did some processing to it too. So very interesting. I'm going to export that for later. So cool. Very, very cool. Podnar, I understand there's some new exciting news with BlueSky as well.
Yes. And BlueSky has gotten into the blue check business. So now there's a couple different. Right now, you cannot request a blue check verification. They will add blue check to people they see as worth it, or lack of a better term. Like, you're the New York Times, you get a blue check. You're this person, you're a blue check. The average person can't get it. But the difference is, let's say an organization like the New York Times or a large organization, when there's a little scallop around the check there, that means that organization can give out blue checks. So let's say you're
trusted verifier is the term.
Is that so you're an organization, you're saying, okay, I don't want my employees to have to get verified of themselves. I will be the one verifying. That's a reporter for me. That's a reporter or sports organization. Yes, that's the official one for our player here or WWE. That's the official, one for Randy Orton. That's the official John Cena. It's official. We gave them the blessing. And and I think if you also have a domain name that matches your username, that's an easier way to get verified also.
So, and these have not necessarily rolled out, right? Like this is relatively new. So now we've done that with my personal account in all of the, we were joking a few weeks ago about having a domain party, BlueSky domain party. So we have like awesomecast.com, at awesomecast.com, at Sorgatron.com, SorgatronMedia.com, WrestlingMayhemShow.com, FishingWithIPad.com. Like, we made sure to do that because I think it's just aesthetically more interesting to do that on the platform as it's growing. And for more branded, and we knew what the @ protocol, which is what this is built on. It's an open source protocol, I believe, and it's very similar to what you see on Mastodon. I think Threads is also on that protocol. So the whole idea of verifying back to your website is that does give you a verification, right? Okay, this account does belong to this, because in order to do it, you need to get into your domain or website settings in order to do it, right? So there's a little bit, you got to know what you're doing in order to do it, right? They do have help files to help you out with those kinds of things, but depending on where you at, like we had a weird situation with Mayhem Show where it's like, okay, I don't know where to do this. This isn't working because of like a way we set up a website. So you have to watch out for that. So very cool. So hypothetically, my understanding is since I did that to those accounts, they're going to start popping up blue check marks here in the near future. Am I understanding that right, Podnar?
Right. That's they say you can self-verify by saying your domain name as your username, and they give you the steps to do that.
Okay.
And yeah, right now it says during the initial they're not accepting direct applications.
No.
Now, when as they say, as it stabilizes, we'll launch a request form for notable and authentic accounts interested in becoming verified.
I feel like anybody that is initially gets the trusted are going to be a special cases. New York Times, for instance, like, hey, we know the New York Times is one of the top da-da-da's of the country. We're going to give them a check. And also in their sort of beta testing this to make sure it works out and letting a platform on their platform start rolling this out so people get used to it, right? And catch those bugs before they roll it out wider. So, no, I think that's very cool. Katie, what do you think about the blue check mark coming to BlueSky?
I like it. I think it's always nice to be able to tell when you're talking to someone who's actually who they say they are. Because I think we've seen so many, especially on other social media networks, that where folks are, no, we're satire, but we're using the name. And it's I think it's also nice that it might kind of cut down on the race to make sure you claim your name on every new thing that comes out.
Yeah. Which
is kind of a thing that, especially when we were just seeing new platforms, left, right, let's go. And it's like, okay, I got to pull up, who am I there? I got to get my brand here, my personal name here. And it's just like,
and I think you and I both recommend people like, go get on that platform. You're probably going to use it. You don't know, but just in case, get it so somebody else doesn't and start doing something under your name, right? So yeah. And Katie, you work a little more directly with brands, right, on the social media side. And is making sure they are verified to make sure they're the primary voice in a name in that brand. Is that more concerned? Are you more concerned with the stuff that you work with?
Certain brands, in regards to like the bigger Pittsburgh brands, yes, you have to make sure you're getting it because somebody else can grab it up, and making sure that you're you. And also, there's always the misrepresentation, and like, who knows if you get a bad former employee who decides to take over your name, and then now you're playing, catch up on things and having to prove yourself. But yeah, there's plenty of scenarios in it where you definitely want to make sure that you can prove you, and then can prove you.
Absolutely. No, very cool. I mean, it's becoming a mature platform, and it seems like definitely a lot of people are conversing over there, and it's growing every day. So, they had a little bit of jump here in recent months. I don't know that's happening as much anymore. I haven't seen the reactive jumps happening. I think everybody's finding their safe place and happy place right now, or place to complain, whatever the case may be. Let's cover all sides here. But yeah, so I think that's good to see that happening, especially as other places seem to be taking away features or making it pay for them and stuff like that. And there will be, we talked about a few weeks ago, like BlueSky is going to have a pay version, but also they're a little more independent. And, I wouldn't mind, just like Twitter back in the day, I wouldn't mind, being a part of that and making sure they kind of stick around. I see it highlighted here. So yes, Dave, we can talk about the bird and chess.
I didn't highlight it on purpose. I just moved my I just moved my moved my thing over there so it wouldn't be in anyone's way. But yeah,
I mean, I think it is the last thing on our doc, so that's okay.
So, our friend Duo, who has come back to life.
Yes, he is risen. He
has
risen.
risen.
Duo is a he, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Duolingo is going to add chess to the app, so you will be able now. They're going to start off, I would say, they said very similar to how they teach language.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be, here's a giant chessboard. We're going to go into details on everyone moves, and you have to, they're going to do little scenarios, add little bits, and build you up to start playing games. And it's going to be gamified like everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've done anything with Duolingo in the past, you recognize the character Oscar there.
Yeah.
And he will be your chess teacher there.
Okay. So, so now I'm curious because I'm fairly aware of chess, played chess a little bit here and there. I understand base level, let's say, chess. I think we played chess with giant chess pieces, Katie, when we were in Kentucky or Tennessee that one time, right? Or did I just hide the horse everywhere? I think it was mostly just hiding the horse everywhere. No, we played. That's right. We did play a little bit, didn't we? Anyways, do you think, like, I don't want to start from zero. You know what I mean?
No, and you won't.
Okay.
From what I understand, they're going to ask you where you are in terms of skill level.
Okay.
And they will try to place you in an appropriate starting point.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know nothing, if you're like, okay, I've seen people play chess, I don't know anything, they'll start you at one level. If you're like, okay, I've played a few games, I'm familiar with the moves, and this is all self-reported, we're going to put you at this level.
Okay. No,
So I'm assuming also that if they put you at a level and you keep on losing and having issues, we're going to like, okay, we're going to, I don't know this, but hopefully it'll say, okay, you were a little too confident in your ability. We're going to bump you down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're like, oh yeah, you know all this, we're going to let you skip a whole bunch of levels to go up.
Mm-hmm. By the way, just in case you're wondering, this is how we were playing chess before. So yeah, I had a little bit of fun with it. I think I think I put it in the middle of the hallway so somebody could find it when they woke up. So, there's just other stuff. Okay, we're going. I don't know where I'm going here. I'm afraid what's going to come up next if I keep pushing this. So, just more Dollywood stuff. Okay, that's good. So, anyways, guys, always good to be hanging out, talking some awesome things with my friends on the cast. So Dave Podnar, iPhoneography podcast. I think you just did a new episode, correct? If my timing is right in my head.
Yep, we just had a new episode last night, and I wish I could have thought of it because it was entitled "Do You Want to Play a Game?" And I didn't think about quickly enough to throw a wrestling reference about playing a game. But it was about taking a random date, either maybe a friend comes up with it or using your favorite AI system to come up with a random date, and then take a photo that was taken around that date and try to edit it. So we came up, all three of us said, okay, one person took a month, one person took a day, one person took a year. And we came up with the date, said, okay, anything within 7 days, and find something in there and go edit it. And it was from a year and a half ago, I think, the photo. So it was photos we haven't thought of for a while. I'm just like, okay, we have different editing techniques now. It's later. We may have different apps. Go have fun editing it.
Oh, God. I downloaded the Duo logo and was like, oh, dude, am I dreaming? You're back. Yes, I'm back. Sure. I want to play chess, guys. Okay.
I don't know if chess is out yet.
I don't think it is yet either.
It isn't, but they're rolling it out to iOS first and later to Android. So it's going to take a while for it to get to Android for some reason.
Yeah. It's mostly asking me languages. I know there's other things that it's been doing, so I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, language, music,
and they are in there.
Mathematics. Okay. And mathematics.
I'm not going to allow notifications because that's
you don't want Lily to come up and say,
listen.
Listen,
I already give myself enough crap for not doing things. I don't need somebody else to be doing it, digitally. I beat myself up enough myself for it. But oh man, this is gonna be a mistake. I shouldn't have done this right before travel season. Anyways, also as shout out, because I wanted to mention during it, Bad Chess on Apple Arcade is tremendous, and I think there's a pay version as well, or a freemium version or something you can download. Bad Chess drops you in these chess scenarios, and you got to kind of work your way out of them. It's a fun little brain teaser and really low key kind of app. Somebody who's not low key is Katie Dudas. The Dudders. No, that's still Podnar.
We're the same.
There you go. I got confused. KatieDudas.com. You got things and stuff going on, I'm sure.
Sure, always things and stuff. And I don't know how many hours of Animal Crossing I've played recently. So.
Oh, I heard about the reset guy today on another podcast. If you hit a thing and hit reset instead of letting it save, there's a guy that comes out and yells at you on the game. Rossetti?
Yeah, he was at the coffee shop today. Okay. Because my niece and I were like, who is this and what is he doing here? And then we realized who it was, and it was like, oh, and then we just tried to get photos of him angry at us. So
should we get our Nintendo Switch orders in before the tariffs get crazy? Does this need to go down?
Well, I think for the Switch 2, you're safe early on.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I heard rumors that they were trying to ship as many as possible.
Yep.
So they're already here, so they don't have
it's feeling like a now or never kind of thing. But who knows? It's very interesting times for that kind of stuff. But anyways, we'll keep an eye on them, keep it awesome, and have some fun with it. So guys, thank you so much for checking out the show. Again, we'll have probably a little bit of conversation on Patreon. Maybe I'll tell you about the stuff that I can't talk about on the show. That like the thing that scared the crap out of me walking down the New York, the Las Vegas Strip. We'll start the Patreon off with that and see where we go. Thank you guys, everybody, for joining us. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.